Okay. Ready. Okay. Sequence to Seducing a Scot here in Books and Carl Gables. It is a rather warm, sultry South Florida August night. And I'm here with fabulous Michelle Marco, who has written a few of these historical romance novels, but now she's going to tell us a little bit about Scottish men.
Okay. The first thing to know about Scottish men is that they're all incredibly tall. The Highlanders are like super, super tall, and that's a wonderful thing. First Scottish man I ever met was actually coming out from a wedding in a hotel, and he had on a kilt and a tuxedo top, and I just went like this. I think my jaw rolled under the ground or something, but it was so wonderful. He's very, very tall, and they're all
hairy, but then they have those skirts, right? The kilts.
Nice touch. This is why, you know, men are always wondering what women have under their skirts. When they wear the skirts, we want to know what's under there.
Now, seriously, all kidding aside, I mean, I know, like many women, we want to reach under the skirt and wonder what's going on. But all kidding aside, this is, you wrote a book, this is a novel. It took you a long time and created this wonderful story about this, this romance between these two disparate characters. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, actually, I was watching an episode of Sex and the City, and I just thought, when I saw that character of Carrie Bradshaw, and she's writing this column for the paper, and I just said, I was just like sitting there watching TV, and I was like, I wonder if Carrie Bradshaw, what would have happened if she lived in Regis Island? And that sort of just took off from there. She became a...
Well, and tell us about Regis Island, because, a lot of us take for granted, I blog, we write novels, and we can kind of say whatever we want. It wasn't always that way. Women just couldn't wake up one day and just write and say anything they wanted. So your character...
Yes, my character has actually got a little bit of latitude, because she is actually somebody of society writing about society, and she doesn't mention anybody's names. But that's what makes everything so wonderful to read. everybody was sort of wanting to read their, identify who she was talking about without actually, her naming them. So there were actually a few people that were doing that, and that's what the society columns were. And they used very vague terms, but that's how they. So, but still to this day, nobody knows who was writing those.
We don't know if they were women or men, right?
Women or men.
Right.
It definitely had to be somebody who was invited to the party.
Right. So you are, you grew up. You say you're from Hialeah.
Hialeah,
baby. Represent. And here you are in Books and Carl Gables. Signing books for your awesome historical romance novel. What would you say to aspiring writers or anyone who wants to express herself and just go for it and just write?
Hialeah is a very working class neighborhood, and my father worked in a factory for 32 years, and it would have been easy to sort of fall into that, but my parents always encouraged me to know who I am and to pursue, and they always gave me every opportunity. So it was, I really wanted to, and I don't want this to sound bad, but I really wanted to break out of
it doesn't sound bad.
Okay, I wanted to break out of the, of a predetermined path. So I said, let me just escape into fiction. And I used to read a lot. I used to read James Bond novels. I loved Ian Fleming. So I used to read Ian Fleming, and, I wanted to be a Bond girl. And I know I probably won't be a Bond girl ever, but, it's still...
In my movie you would be.
Oh, yay! All right. So I can say... So hopefully
Gerard Butler.
Someday...
We'll like girls like us.
Got it.
Well, that's great. And so then we're tying it all back to the Scottish thing, because I went to the Scottish tasting before this event tonight with you. There's something incredibly romantic about Scotland. I mean, even in I know, of course, maybe you live there and you're on welfare. Of course, that's not romantic. But what is it about Scotland, like the way the world sees it, from literature or from, art? I mean, what is it about Scotland that's so attractive? Besides this,
right? This is enough. Well, they're sort of, they've always been embattled, and they've always been like a warrior society. So there's something mystical about the warrior, about the whole brave heart thing. People, ever since the old times, people have worshipped the warriors, the military men, and Scotland was full of people like that. So I think that's part of the mysticism. So part of the whole mystique of Scottish people is that they're the epitome of masculinity, and that's kind of irresistible.
Yeah, and that's like even after Beowulf. Okay, that's probably too literary. Well, Michelle, you know what? Congratulations. You had a great event tonight. You had a great turnout. People love your stuff. Go get it. Read it. Secrets of How to Seduce Scot. I hope perhaps you can get a little bit more out of that in Secrets of Seducing anybody. Really.
Yeah. Learn.